So, before this break what we had discussed that 4 or 5 items are used to measure each dimension. That means, under each of these 5 dimensions okay, we frame 4 or 5 different questions to measure these expectations and perception gap. What happens that this instrument is administered in 2 stages. What happens that we first approach the service providing firm, meet their top management or the other executives concerned and ask them that you are in this particular business. Okay. We feel that these 5 dimensions are very important to achieve excellence in service quality, and we have framed 4 or 5 questions under each of these dimensions, and against each of these questions okay, we have associated a scale 1 to 5 to find out the level of importance of these questions. First stage. Now, if some of these items are not very important, they will mark it much less compared to those items which are very important. Those items which are important, they may mark it in a scale of 1 to 5, all maybe 5 or 4 ratings. Those questions which they feel are not that important, they will mark either 2 or 1, fine. So, those are the level of expectations related to the importance of those items in that particular service sector. They may do this exercise over some 4 or 5 different service providing firms in that particular service industry to get that average level of importance. Now, they would like to assess the level of quality with respect to a one particular service providing firms. Then they will say that okay, they will not ask the employees any questions at this point in time. What they will do? They will approach the customers who are receiving service from that particular firm. I will say that please rate against these questions the level of service that you have received from this firm. That means, they are trying to get an idea about the quality of service perceived by the customers of that particular firm, and they may do it over say 20, 30 customers, 40 customers, and find out the average rating of the perceptions of the service being provided by that firm with respect to each of these items. Now, what they will do? Against one such question, they had already find out the expectations level. Suppose the expectations level is 3 and the perception level against that particular item is 4. What they will do? They will now subtract the difference between the perceived level and the expectation level. So, 4 minus 3 is positive plus. So, like this they will do it for all the items, 22 items or whatever items there. So, in those cases where this gap is positive, that means the difference between perceived quality or perceived level of service quality is greater than the level that the industry expects, what will happen? It indicates that that firm is doing very well on those aspects. and the maximum positive things, that means that is the firm's strength. The firm is very strong in those areas where they have got high positive values. But there will be some items, there may be some 3-4 service items in which you will find that this difference between perceived level of service quality and the expected level of service quality, this gap is negative. That means this firm is not very strong in those areas, may not be doing very well. So, it is a concern area for that particular service firm, and they need to improve upon that, right. And I might do this survey in the month of March, okay, and give this feedback to the top management or the executives of that service providing firm. After 6 months again I come back and do the same survey, this time only on the perceived level of service quality. That means I do the survey among the customers who have received service from that particular firm, because the expectations level have already been determined. Now, this time I will compute the differences between perceived level of service and expected level of service and try to find out how many of them are positive and how many of them are negative. Whether the positive traits that have been observed in the first round of survey still remains. That means, the firm is able to retain the strength in the areas which were noted earlier. And I will see that how many of these negatives have been turned into positives. Because if that particular firm has drawn certain action plans to improve upon those concerned areas, it must be reflected. If really some improvements have taken place, those negative gaps will now either turn out to be 0 or positive. If that happens, that means the performance of the firm over time has improved, isn't it? And after, see, I found a negative gap of say -2 in the month of March, and in September I find that -2 has become +1. That means the management was really concerned, it had commitment, it had dedication, it had put in certain action plans which has resulted in converting those negative gaps into positive. So, this is the way they have grouped those under the 5 dimensions that I have said. So, this kind of survey and the application of these SERVQUAL instruments is very popular in hotels, travel and tourism, car servicing, business schools, accounting firms, architectural services, airline catering, and mobile telecommunications. There are many such models for finding out the gaps between expected quality and perceived quality. Every day some scholar is coming out with some model, okay, and they are saying that I am adding something delta to the knowledge database, give me the PhD. Parsuram got it in 85, okay. So, after that they found, array, this is one method. So, somebody else will say, array, let me find out something else. Every other day somebody is coming out with some model and will say that I have added something new to the knowledge database, please give me a PhD. Because in the country so many educational institutes are there, everybody wants PhD, they think that by doing PhD that person will be very good in teaching, that is the benchmark, that is the order winner. So, some improvements over some existing models will enable him to get a PhD. Again, there are many research scholars in IITs and other universities, they are very skeptical. Somebody has got a PhD by developing a model, maybe from some industry, from some place. These fellows will say, let me find out some fault with that model, and I will say that this is the gap that exists. Okay? So, he will write in his literature survey, although this gentleman Parshuraman or XYZ has developed this model does not address these points. So, these are the research gaps, and he will say that I will now come out with one particular model which will minimize that gap. So, give me another PhD. So, this is the case. So, some people have found out certain disadvantages related to this Parashuraman model. What are those? They are saying that uniform applicability of the method for all service sectors is difficult. This is a very common sense observation. But then this IIT professor will say, or that research scholar will say, "Are common sense is the most uncommon thing in the world. After I have written, you are saying that this is not a, but I have written this in my literature survey, so this is the gap." Next, it does not measure service outcome perceptions. You are basically trying to check on this item wise gaps, but you yourself said that the service is a package, and what is the outcome of that? It does not measure that. And use of expectations in measuring quality has currently come under a lot of criticism, because these IIT professors and scholars and other things, they are saying that why should that participants in that service sector should define the level of importance of the items? Why? What is the basis of that? So, it has become a subject of criticism. Okay. And advantages, of course, we have just discussed. So, idea is, the whole idea is, whenever I am receiving some service from some place, okay, I have certain expectations. Whether those expectations have been met or not is the way by which I judge the quality of that service. Like say, there is a restaurant called Dreamland Restaurant here. Yesterday while roaming, you might have seen two restaurants over there, Dreamland and Sahara. And somebody will say that prawn fish. In Bengal, we make a curry out of that prawn fish. We add some coconut inside that, certain spices and all. They call it malai curry. Okay, MALAIKARI, malai curry. And those people who have tasted that malai curry will say, oh, the malai curry that is being served by the Dreamland Restaurant is very, very good, word of mouth. Okay. And then those of you, like my friend from Delhi, who is coming all the way from Delhi to Kharagpur to attend this class, she has not tasted malai curry, so she will have some inbuilt desire in her mind. Achha, how does this prawn taste? How does this Bengali people, they cook that prawn? So let me have a taste of it. Personal needs. Okay. So all this advertisement and all. Similar with the case of say Mishti Doi, curd, na? They make some, they put in some sweets and all. That sweet curd is very famous and very popular in Bengal and all. So everywhere throughout the country, there is a Mishti Doi. Mishti Doi means so some expectations. Now, having heard all those, you go to Dreamland and say that please serve me malai curry. Okay? So they will serve you malai curry. After you have those malai curry, okay, then you really, because you had some level of expectations and the service that you have received from Dreamland or Sahara or any other restaurant, after having that malai curry will make you realize that whether those expectations have been met or not. If this gap is too much, gone. I will never even utter that term. I am dissatisfied customer. And you know, it's not only the curry might be cooked very nicely, but I said that service is a package. When you evaluate service quality, it's the totality of everything. The way they serve, the hygiene that they maintain, the cleanliness of the dish, the ambience itself, the attitude of the waiter, all these things matter. All these things matter. It is the sum total of this. Now, what happens that when there are differences between the expected level of service and the perceived level of service, you say that a service failure has occurred. How do I recover from that service failure? That is a very important issue. See, whatever may be the level of precautions that you take, there will always be a chance or probability associated with failure in not meeting the level of expectations. How do I recover from the service failure? Those of you who are regularly watching TV or listening to the radios might have recently heard Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, speaking about recovery of service failure. What he said, that this failure to recover from service is inbuilt into the word service. You might say, Hare, what is that? So, what Modi ji is saying, that whenever there is service failure, please remember the term service. First S will stand for what? Say sorry. Galti ho gaya. That is the first S. Galti ho gaya. Sorry. That E stands for empathy. It's very spicy and very hot. Try to make yourself realize, put yourself onto the shoes of that customer. Arey, then you bring in some sweet lozenges or something like that, or cold water and all. Arey sir, le lijiye. Be empathetic. Listen to him patiently. He is agitated. His expectations have been belied. He is trying to take it on you. Just be a patient listener. Understand the customer. Be a patient listener. Be courteous. So, empathy. Sometimes what happens? Reward the customer. Okay? That stands for R. Maybe, sir, you don't pay for this dish. So, it is basically a victory for the customer, that V. Give him a feeling that customer is everything, customer is the king. Let it be a victory unto him. Next, this I. I means improve. Improve your service. Okay? That C stands for compensation. Compensate him. Okay? And extend that E, next E, extend the domain of your service. Okay? Sometimes what happens, that these service providing firms, they create dissatisfaction intentionally. Okay? And then they come out with something that makes everybody happy. Like say when I used to be in the industry, okay, every week I had to take on flights from Kolkata to Mumbai, Delhi, from Delhi to Detroit, this, that and all. Industry were always roaming. So those days, 2002, 2003, 2004, the frequency of travel was too much because I used to fly by Jet Airways, okay, that time. So Jet Airways people, what they used to do, suppose the flight from Calcutta should take off at 7:10, okay, and they found that some checks have not been performed, the engine, some malfunctioning in the lights and other things are there and all. So what they will announce that the flight will take 30 minutes more, or it will start before 8 o'clock. What will happen? That initially people will feel, oh, hey, these Indian Airlines and this Jet Airways, everywhere in India is this, that, so many things. Then suddenly this air hostess will come with free drinks, that will reduce the level of anger. And then after 5 minutes they will say, everything has been put in order, now the flight will take off. So your initial displeasure was that you thought that it will be delayed by 45 minutes, but actual take place within 15 minutes. So intentionally they created the displeasure and then saying that we have recovered from that. This kind of technique is called recovery paradox. Okay. That means initially you were dissatisfied, but they created such a situation by way of which you became very much happy. So some service providing firms take recourse to that. This recovery paradox will work if the level of gap between the expected service and the perceived service is very small. But this recovery paradox will not work in all circumstances, because if this gap is too wide, if the gap between expected level and the perceived level is too much, then this recovery paradox will not work. And also this is not ethical also. So service providing firms with high value systems will not indulge in such practices. But these practices do prevail and is basically known as recovery paradox. Then in order to ensure quality in the service package, service providing firms are resorting to various processes. One such thing is called POCA-IOC, which is a fail safe mechanism. That means you are providing some mistake proof mechanisms, okay, by way of which the failure will not occur. You go to Taj Bengal, you go to Taj Lands Line and all these 5-star hotels, there the ambience matters, there the appearance of this receptionist, all these hotel boys, girls, they matter a lot. You will find that everywhere, at every angle, at every lobby, at everywhere, some mirrors are there, Belgium glass mirror, fantastic mirror. You just go there, you will like to stand in front of that mirror and find out how do I look. So you will find all these receptionists, all these hotel boys and this and that, they are standing in front of the mirror and seeing how their appearance is that. Why? that is a mistake proof mechanism. If there is some smudge is there, some color is there and all, they will immediately go and change their uniform. They would like to check that whether the appearance is correct or not. That is one Poka-Yoke example. Then in US there are small flights, particularly I had observed it quite a number of times while I used to fly from Melbourne to New Zealand, okay, or Tasmania or Hobart. There these Ansett Airlines, they are small planes. So, if you carry a big bag, again you will create problems. What happens in Indian Airlines flight and all, even few years back, some people will not put it inside, they will take it as a cabin luggage and it will not fit in the cabin. They are adamant, okay, I will take it inside. Then this air hostess, they get into problem, then it does not fit in. So, she will carry all that thing, keep it at the last row somewhere inside or somewhere there. In US and Australia and UK, all these things do not happen, because there will be some this kind of thing, and when you enter they will ask you to put the bag inside that, which if it passes through, that means it will fit in the cabin. That is a Poka-Yoke example, fail-safe mechanism. Okay. Nowadays, of course, we are all copycats. In India also those things have been started. Then there are various tools and techniques, including statistical control charts and others. I have requested Professor P.K. Rai to deal with those things, okay, to ensure how quality is controlled. But if you have any special needs, we can take it offline, okay. Whole day tomorrow is there and all, so I can also discuss about certain quality, all those tools and all. So, what I am saying that service failures do occur, and these are some examples of the server errors and the corresponding customer errors. Server errors, task is doing work incorrectly, the treatment is failure to listen to customer, and the tangible is failure to wear clean uniform. Customer errors, I have given some examples: preparation, encounter and resolution. I will be leaving the PPTs. I think the PPTs will be given to all the participants, isn't it? This is basically another thing called quality function deployment, okay. QFD techniques. We construct a house of quality, wherein the input to the house of quality, input to this house of quality are these requirements. You see, this basically this particular picture is applied for a maintenance unit, car maintenance unit, okay. So, there the customer expectations is that service providing firms like this Maruti servicing stations, okay. What do you expectation? What is your expectation when you go to those service stations for you taking your car for the service? See, after every 3 months, 4 months you go to these service stations, na, that मेरा कार को सर्विस कर दीजिए. So, what are your expectations there? That the service station must be reliable, must be responsive to my needs, must assure me that once I get it serviced, things will be all right. So, all these are attributes of quality, okay, and this column represents the level of importance on a 1 to 9 scale rated by the customer, okay. On the top you see what are the things, that these are the qualities or the attributes of the service providing firms in order to address these needs. Like through training, they can be more reliable. Okay. Training will meet assurance, and that importance is 5 units. So, these are the training, the attitude of the employees within the service providing firms, the capacity of the service providing firms, the information technology that they have deployed, and the state of the equipment and other things that they have, to what extent they will address each of these needs or requirements. These will be filled up. Okay. And then we can compare this with the other dealers. Okay. And the weighted score is here for the first column 9 into 8 72 plus 21, 7 into 3 plus 6 into 5 30 plus 2 into 4 will make 127. Like this, I will have the ranking, difficulty ranking, and then take appropriate action. This is the quality function deployment technique for finding out the priorities of the customer's requirement and also to find out the attributes. This is a very popular technique for requirement analysis and prioritizing the input requirements. We can take offline any further details on that, and I will give you references for that. So, statistical process control, Professor Rai will deal in totality. So, I do not want to repeat. Sometimes what happens that as I was mentioning that recovery from service failure is a very important aspect, okay? And sometimes the service providing firms, they provide guarantee, to the customers, okay? That is also one recovery mechanism, okay? And this, from the customer's view, the guarantee should be such that it should be unconditional. If you want to return the things, return it, you will get back the money, no question asked, unconditional guarantee. If there is an unconditional guarantee associated with that, everybody will buy that. Everybody will see. In Calcutta, since my father is a doctor, so I am more accustomed with all this healthcare and other things. See, Dr. Debabrata Sen is a very good Ayurvedic specialist. She has introduced this band called Parampara. And this in Calcutta, these ladies are very beauty conscious. So, they want that their skin should be glowing all the time, and there should be fairness and all. So, this Parampara Ayurvedic that Debabrata Sen has come out with some cream and moisturizer combined together, and therein he has also put in some homeopathic medicine to remove that, what is that called, we call it in Bengali til, that black spots which are there. So, initially that cream was not selling, but yeah, see, because many people they had their own doubts, that cream costs 1600 rupees. 1600 rupees I will spend just for removing this, that, and then bringing glow, whether this will last on it was not initially getting sold. But Dr. Debabrata Sen was very much convinced that this will cure. Okay. So, because he had done some field testing with that and all. So, what he did? He said, whosoever buys this cream, if he or she uses 3 tubes, okay, and no results happen, okay, the entire money will be given back, no questions asked, Immediately the sale increased so much that you today go there and ask for those creams, you do not get it, short supply. No questions asked, unconditional guarantee.
There is no harmful side effect.
No. See, when can a particular service provide? See, you will never provide guarantee until unless you are convinced of the quality of your products and services. You see, whenever any service providing firm or a manufacturing firm provides a guarantee means they are assuring you about the level of quality. Until and unless they themselves are convinced about the level of, or the quality of their products and services, how can they provide guarantee? तो फार्म उठ जाएगा ना, नहीं रहेंगे फार्म. So they are so much convinced, and believe me, after that sale increase, now people are getting fantastic results. So many of my relatives have got these results. So they are saying that, "Are chalo," and the sale is increasing like anything. So I personally went to Devabrata Sen and congratulated him. Okay, so this is one. Then again, that service guarantee scheme should be such. You will see all these malls in Hyderabad and other places, where you go, suppose the length of the pant has to be adjusted and other thing. So there is a counter at the basement type of thing. So there they will take the length of that thing and they give it for a. So side by side there is another counter where there will be 2 or 3 ladies, they will be sitting there. People will come to change their, this size is not fitting, this, that and all. Okay. So many of these firms, they have institutionalized this procedure, but they are not ready to listen. नहीं आपने वो यूज कर लिया, वो आपने वो कपड़ा पहना, I will not take it. No, that should not be the attitude. You should easily try to understand the problems that he or she is facing and enter into communication dialogue, and if necessary help him out. Meaningful. I asked you what is so fantastic about this Paradise and all this hotel. If you go to see in Hyderabad, we are talking about this morning about Hyderabad, where he is doing his research work and all. So there are many very good restaurants, fantastic restaurants where they are selling kebabs and all. And if the ambience is good, there is so much of photograph of Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan and all this, credibility has already been established. Each of them have tasted and all. But one of the most important thing, that if you order a plate of kebab and they will give you a time, that okay sir, it will take 15 minutes or 20 minutes to serve you with that plate of kebab. If you don't get that kebab will within 20 minutes, that plate of kebab will be served to you free of cost. That is the guarantee.
But does it happen?
Yes, I have enjoyed. I have enjoyed in 2 places, and that is why, see, I have enjoyed, that's why I remember, and that's why I am telling you. I am one person who does not touch the book, but everything what I am saying from my own experience and all, this I will never forget. Near Bombay airport, there is that restaurant, there is a hotel called Orchid. You go to Orchid, they have mentioned very clearly that if you order something and if you don't get it in 15 minutes, the entire money will be refunded to you. They will get free. And what used to happen na, that my colleagues and myself, every time we used to take a bet. Chalo na bhai, maybe someday we will get a free and all. So before, see, we used, our company car used to come and we will say, no, first take us to the Orchid Hotel, we will have the breakfast. Anyway, either we will have the breakfast in the hotel, let me have it here. So every time I will take a chance. And I want, on one occasion, I remember that day, so this is the thing, So why?
Mostly the Domino's, they will guarantee in half an hour. Mostly if they are not coming, they will.
But see, the pizza does not cost much. So getting a free pizza or all doesn't matter. But a breakfast in Orchid will cost you some more than 1,000 rupees, and it's a pleasure to win that kind of thing.
Regarding this, suppose we go to KFC or say
Yeah.
They will say, sir, please wait for 2 to 3 minutes. They will never say 20 minutes.
No, but
Whenever you say it's 20 minutes, there is a probability that it will cost 20 minutes. It's very, very less. But if they say 2 minutes, like KFC, and within 2 minutes it will be served.
But KFC does not provide any guarantee of returning the money or anything like that.
But that's why they reduce the time. There's a
No, that's fine, but they don't give you the guarantee. See, until and unless you get it free, you really don't enjoy. An unconditional service guarantee from the management view is basically set clear standards like FedEx, guarantees feedback, promotes an understanding of the service delivery system, and builds customer loyalty by making expectations explicit. So, all customers want to be satisfied. Customer loyalty is only due to the lack of a better alternative. Giving customers some extra value will delight them by exceeding their expectations and ensure their return. We have talked about all these concepts. This slide talks about customer feedback and word of mouth. See, one very important thing when you become a service manager, or if you are in charge of a service providing firms, one thing you please remember that sometimes you need an unbiased feedback, okay? Because if you get your activities and processes all the time audited by your own employees, your appointed auditors and all, you may not get a correct feedback or an unbiased feedback. So, sometimes these walk-through audits are very important. Here, service delivery system should conform to the customer expectations. Customer impression of service influenced by use of all senses, and these points need to be audited by some unbiased person, by some external customers. This is very important, because they would like to remove the biasness. Otherwise, if it is done every time by the employees within the firm, then it does not make sense, because they are already biased. So, unbiased feedback is also very important. And one important point I forgot just now. Let me see. Approaches to service recovery we have discussed. These are some standard practice, proven methods discussed in the textbook, but I like Modi ji's approach. Okay. So, I will recommend that one to everybody, but yeah, you can also try this. Particularly the substitute service allows rival firm to provide service, but could lead to loss of customer. And while I discuss service strategy, the remaining things I will highlight. In between, if you have any questions, offline, any research problem, anything that you would like to discuss with me, you are welcome. So thanks a lot for your kind patience, and we had a wonderful session. Thank you.